I know that's right. Native said no. Okay. All right. Hey, 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 hey. Excited you guys are jumping on here today. Go ahead and share this feed with a family member, our friends. We're going to definitely get into some good conversation that I want to make sure you guys are actually ready for 2026, because it is going to be a phenomenal year. And I want to see everybody win really, really, really big. Okay. All right. Hey, hey. Okay. Yep. So go ahead, do that. Do me a favor and share this information. Go ahead and text somebody and tell them to jump on this live real quick, because we're about to get into it. Excited. I'm trying to see. I don't see y'all comments. Okay, let me see. But go ahead and put in the comments where you're from. I want to know who's on here today. Excited to see you guys today. Gosh, I can't believe we are literally just a couple days out before we end 2025. Natalie, hey, just a couple days out. And so now is a great time to really, hopefully you guys have had some good rest time, some good reset time, and just kind of, figuring out, okay, God, what does 2027 or 2026 look like for me? What are some of the things that I accomplished last year? And whatever you accomplished last year, I want you to make sure you give yourself like a win. In other words, tell yourself, hey, I'm proud of you, girl. I'm proud of you, guy. You did really good, but we're definitely about to take it up this next coming year. And so I want you to get a pen and paper, because, hey, Kim, what's that? Vegas is in the building. Get a pen and paper, because hopefully I'm going to give you some things that are going to, hope to spark your thought process and get you in a place of abundance and increase, and also get you in a place where you can really start building a really strong real estate portfolio. So I'm going to get started with prayer, and then we'll go ahead and jump on in. So Father, we do bless you. We do thank you, Lord. This is a day that you have made. And God, we're so grateful that you've called us for such a time as this. You've equipped us for such a time as this. You've empowered us for such a time as this. And Lord, I thank you that we recognize that your grace is sufficient. Your mercies are new every morning. And that according to Daniel chapter 1-5, that you have a portion of the king for us. In other words, you have significant increase for us every single day, significant transfers, significant transactions. Holy Spirit, I thank you, Lord, now that you're bringing us into divine purpose, divine acceleration, divine advancement, divine expansion. I speak that over us now. Give us ears to hear what the Spirit of the Lord has to say. Thank you for wisdom to flow freely. I thank you that understanding flows freely, boldness and courage flow freely, and that all that we put our hands to, it shall prosper and be of good success. Now I declare now multiple millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars be released unto us now. According to your word, I send the angels now to go forth and bring it all to pass in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So I'm excited. I received that. I know you received that. Listen, I got involved in real estate in 2017. I had known for some time, Yvette, what's up, girl? I had known for some time that real estate was a part of something that I was supposed to do. But quite honestly, I didn't really know how to get started. I had no idea how to get started. I just knew it was something that I wanted to get involved in. And I'm so grateful that I allowed my curiosity to take me to action. I want you to put that in the comments right now. If you're taking notes, I want you to put, let your curiosity move you to action. Right? Let your curiosity move you to action. I don't believe that God puts any kind that he puts a curious nature in all of us by mistake. All of us have some kind of curious nature. And as a matter of fact, a lot of times the younger you are, the more that curiosity is heightened. But you don't have to lose it just because you get older. You just have to make a decision to cultivate it, because your curiosity is supposed to lead you to action. It's not just, oh, I'm curious, I thought about. No, your curiosity is supposed to lead you to action. Okay. I want you to put that in the comments right now. Your curiosity, let it move you to action. That's right, Natalie. Say that out of your mouth, Nisi. Let your curiosity move you to action. Let your curiosity move you to action, right? Because you can stay curious, or you can say, you know what? Nope, let me actually get up and let me actually start to take some action, because that action is going to lead you to prosperity. Okay. I want you to put that in the comments right now. Let my action lead me to prosperity. That's exactly what Jamila did, one of our partners in the community. That's what Nisi has done. That's what Natalie has done. You got to allow your curiosity move you to action, and then you got to allow your action to lead you to prosperity. Okay, go ahead and put that in the comments. Your curiosity leads you to action, and then your action leads you to prosperity. That is how that's supposed to go, Kanisha. And I miss you. So what up, now? You don't have to come get you, girl. But I love her. Okay, and so that's what you got to do. All right. Now, the other thing you got to do right now, because you got to learn how to like shut down all the noise. You got to learn how to shut down all the noise, because when you make up in your mind that I'm getting ready to go for everything that I know, Ebony, that God has called me to, then I'm going to have to shut down all the noise, because life is going to life. Things are going to happen that you didn't anticipate, but you got to make up in your mind. I don't care what's happening. I'm winning. What's on the agenda? The agenda is I'm winning. Put that right there in the comments. What's on the agenda is winning, or you can just put agenda winning. Okay. That's on the agenda. The agenda is you winning. And that is the mindset that you have to have, because things are going to come up, Valerie, but you got to make up in your mind. I don't care what comes up. What I do know is that I'm going to be extremely wealthy. That's what I do know. I don't know what cousin and them going to do. I don't know what my child is going to do. I don't know what this, that, and the third. I don't know. I can't speak to none of that. But what I can speak to is that being extremely wealthy is not an option. Put that in the comments right now. Extremely wealthy. Put it in the comments, say it out of your mouth, extremely wealthy. Not a little bit, not a drizzle, not a dot, not a dash, but extremely, right? As a matter of fact, I think wealth at one point used to be a luxury, but I no longer think it's a luxury. I think wealth is absolutely a necessity. Wealth is a necessity. Right? Because I want you to have options. I want you to have options to where you eat. I want you to have options to where you grocery shop. I want you to have options on where you go on vacation. I want you to have options on what kind of mattress you sleep on. I want you to have mattress on your comforter set. Come on, somebody. I want you to have options to the kind of dishes that's in your cabinet. I want you to have options. That's what wealth does, is wealth gives you options. And I need you all to have many options, because for too long, especially as African Americans, we have not had options. We've had to take cheese and food stamps and all the things, and that's over. That's done with. That's dead. You got to have options, and you can't wait for nobody to come save you. You got to save yourself, right? Jesus going to save you. Then after that, you got to save yourself, okay? So I have a good friend of mine on here today that we do a lot of business together. And you know, we've been able to help a lot of people. He's been able to help me. I bought quite a few properties from him out of my own portfolio and And then I've also, you know, sold some properties that he's recommended, specifically off-market properties. Because when you start talking about building wealth, I want you to build with off market, right? Not that you can't find some good MLS stuff, because Phil probably gonna say that when I bring him on, because you can find some good MLS stuff, you can. But for the most part, I like the off market, because it gives me creativity and how I structure that deal, right? And I want to make sure that I structure that deal to be able to take advantage of equity and things like that, especially for those of you that are seasoned investors. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to bring my boy on here, Felton. What's up, Felton?
Hey, how you doing?
How we doing?
I'm doing wonderful right now. Wonderful.
Good. Do you have baby Faith with you?
Yes, she is with her mother right now. She's her favorite pastime, watching TV. I'm gonna get her on the live one time.
They just had a new baby, and she is just a cutie pie, just a cutie pie.
Thank you.
So yeah, so it's been great doing business with you, man. It's been over the last couple years, right?
Yeah, and you know what? What I can say is it's a pleasure doing business with you, because just your tenacity, your stick through itness, your calmness is just a treat. Anytime I done a deal with Joy, she's focused, she locks in, nothing sways her, and she is the epitome of a investor. You know, she understands the risk, she sees the reward, she locks in, she focuses on the reward, and has been having beautiful results from that. So
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I don't like everybody I sell to. I can say that. So I appreciate you just for the maturity you bring, because whatever game you're in or whatever career you're in, you want to bring something to it. You want to be remembered, and your reputation precedes you. I just love, doing a deal with you, because everything is, I'm not going to say ultimately things happen. It's not always smooth per se, but your maturity, your, focus is really refreshing.
I appreciate that, and I
Mhm.
appreciate you too, because you've been very leveled. We've had to deal with all kinds of intense, high strung, just all the things that comes with being an investor. And I'm glad you mentioned that. And I'm grateful for your maturity as well, because that's something that you got to have when you invest. And a lot of times when people think about investing in real estate, it is a blessing. But it also comes with a set of challenges that I think are just a part of it, And one of the things that I said that I endeavored to do this year was not just talk to people about the building a high net worth, multiple $1 million portfolio, which is a blessing. And I'm grateful by the grace of God that I've been able to do that. So grateful and humbled by that. But it also has come with its set, of issues and challenges. And I want to kind of talk just a little bit about that part, because I don't ever want anybody to come into this space all like, rosy and like, oh, it's going to be so perfect. And, there have been times that we've had to gone through multiple properties doing deal evaluations before we get to the final. You know what I mean? It's not always so clean cut. Sometimes you can walk in a house or multifamily and say, oh, this is it. And then other times you walk in and you're like, no, for different reasons, right? Or sometimes you can be getting ready to go to close, but then something comes up with the title and you got to wait for them to send over information. Like, there's so many different people when you do a real estate transaction. You got the realtors, you got the sellers, you got title company, then you got contractors, then you got, putting it back on the market or working with property management. You work on both sides, property management and also selling homes off market as well as MLS. Will you just talk about why having a community and, Felton is a part of the Acetified community that I've built, started in November 2022. And, and so now I want you to kind of just talk about, you need a Felton on your team. Let me say that.
Thank you.
You need a Felton on your team. You're going to need to this is not like a loner sport. This is not something you do by yourself. Will you kind of talk about why you need that team?
Because it is a team sport, and it's one of the biggest industries there is. Everything getting to the finish line requires multiple people, and sometimes our people are at a disadvantage because we live in a system of individuality. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's thinking, "Oh, I'm out for me. This is my empire. This is what I'm doing." But real estate, it affects everybody. And just to tack on to what you said, yeah, you're starting off for you, is for your family or whatever your ambitions are, but there are other people that you have to work with. Like, it's no way around it. You can't do everything, and you shouldn't want to, because it'll hold you down as far as time wise. So you can look for your own deals if you want to, but I imagine it's not as easy as people think it is. It's that a lot of people don't even know where to start. You know what I'm saying? You can get a lawyer, you can have them do the title and all of that, but they're not going to be able to process as much as you're giving them. That's why we have title companies, and that's why we have people who can, just make stuff happen beyond just the sales part. You might need some information, or you might need some paperwork, or you need people. You might, and then as far as like contractors, you can't just get a contractor and say, okay, here's my money, go fix the house. This business and even our economy is faith based, so it's about trust. It's about working with people who have the same ambitions, the same like mind, and people who are honest, who have morals and integrity. You know what I'm saying? You just the most efficient wheels that I've seen turn, there were a lot of people turning them. You know what I'm saying? So
Ooh,
even like
ooh,
with
that's a word.
yeah, like even like with property management, it's not just the property manager going out there, it's the contractors, it's the willing owners and investors who, want to put something in the property. And, everybody just has to be on the same page or has to have the same motivation to get stuff done, which is, it's not hard, but you do have to have discernment. You do have to, take your time and, pick your team, like really, really hand pick your team. And I think I just from what I see from Jewel, is her team is stellar, and but it she had to go out and pick everybody. She had to interview everybody and make sure it was a fit for her, because um she is ambitious. She is, get it done, and she's not one of those people that's just, oh, well, I'm gonna put my money here, here, here. She's in the field with you. What do you need? How can I help? And I think when everybody has that mindset of how can I be of service, it just it's that's what you really need. Nobody can be
You
self.
need. That's
Yeah,
what you need. And I think that's one of the things that I enjoy working with you is that you're very diligent. You don't just send me properties. You
yeah,
already know what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? We're looking
exactly.
for the 70% rule. We're looking for a good neighborhood. We're looking
Hmm.
for the right neighborhood, right? Because yeah, we're investing mostly in the inner city of Detroit. Now you might be, somewhere else and you might want to invest somewhere else and we can have that conversation. But Felton sending me houses every week, sometimes every day for a minute. Good buy
Hmm.
and hold situations, and then also good buy and flip situations, because you want to be able to, do some flips or you can make some capital, but then you want to do some
Hmm.
holds where you got that cash flow coming in every single month. And one of the things that I really encourage investors to do is I need you to be an intentional, active investor. You can invest and just say, hey, I bought this property, I got that contractor, but I'm telling you, you're going to make the most money if you are actively participating in the process and kind of knowing your players and knowing who's involved. Let's turn the page a little bit talking about property management, because you also do property management.
Yes.
And I'm grateful because Feld has sent me some tenants. Okay.
Hmm.
I don't
Hmm.
just depend on the property management company that I have. If
Yeah,
I know I have an empty unit, I'm putting all my faith and action towards helping them I've developed relationships with the city of Detroit, Section 8, V8, different housing agencies, Felton, because I'm not just waiting for my property management company. You got to think as a landlord, I need 100% occupancy with great paying clean tenants. That's my confession every day. God, I thank you for sending me 100% great paying clean tenants. And Felton had somebody, it's been a few months, probably the summertime, and
yeah,
you ran into somebody and you said, hey, she's ready to move in right now. And I'm like, I got an empty unit right now, and we made it happen. And I really appreciate that. And she has been excellent. I've had no
that's good
problems
to
with her
hear.
at all. She's been
That's
a
good to
whole
hear.
blessing.
Yeah, and that's
So
that's just the process. Just I knew it was going to work for you, because what we look for in tenants, we're looking for the right credit score, we're looking for the income, we're looking for the history, and I mean it just goes to just with anything, doing your due diligence, screening, making sure that it's a good fit for you, not only sales wise. Just to harp back what you were saying about when I send you deals, I'm thinking, can this is it sellable? When she gets this house, when she fix it up and she put it out there, is she gonna make a profit? I'm not just I know I deal with appraisers, I deal with people, it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you might not know. Like, yeah, you can buy a house in Detroit and you can fix it and put it back on the market, but do you know to do the kitchens and bathrooms? Do you know they base a lot of appraisals off that? Do do you know the areas? It's a C class neighborhood. This is a B class neighborhood. Does it make sense? You go back to the 70% rule, but even with tenants, we want to make sure that we are doing our due diligence, paying attention to the details, not even just a good credit score. I had a tenant who he looked great on paper, you know what I'm saying? 650 credit score. He had the income, worked for Chrysler. But when you broke down his credit report, guy was late on all his payments. I don't even know how it didn't even reflect, but it's just about doing your due diligence, uh, and saying no sometimes too. I know sometimes people are very anxious. They want to be an investor. They want to get it going off the ground, but you got to think, this is long term. So you want to make sure that you're taking your time with everything that you do, and you're having counsel, with your mentor or your property management, or your realtor. Make sure you have a good counsel, because sometimes we can be in a rush for things and not see what's on the other side of the door.
Yeah, that's really good. And just taking it seriously, being
Mhm.
diligent. Like if you're going to buy a property and you get the financing for it, because we have lenders that'll give you 100% financing, Stephanie.
Mhm.
Don't sit there and let the property sit on the market for months and months, because Detroit Land Bank will come by and say, oh, we're putting you on the demolition list.
Yep.
So it really is about being diligent every single step of the way. You can't say, okay, I got my credit good now, but then you start applying for lending, and then lending's asking you for stuff that is taking you weeks to get.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you got to understand, why am I going into real estate investing? I'm going because I want to make financial impact and I want to make social impact. I really want to make a difference in these neighborhoods and really, bring in there. It's no better feeling than when we go in the neighborhood and we buy a house that was abandoned and all the neighbors come out like, oh my gosh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like that one property, that 8 unit. So when I went over
Mhm.
to that 8 unit, when I say about 4, 5 neighbors, the one guy pulled up in the car, hey, you gonna buy it? I have to talk on you. Take my number.
They
I
will.
mean,
They'll watch you. They'll call you if people are, looking suspicious over there. So the community, they really appreciate it. They really
yep.
do.
Yeah, they really do. And they really will look out. And what I love about investing in Detroit, most of those people there are just good, hardworking people. You know what I mean? Who just want the neighborhood to be nice. And then a lot of times when these tenants move in, a lot of times they're just, wanting a good, clean place to stay and not have a slumlord, but actually have a landlord, somebody that cares about the property and I'll make sure that their water is working, making sure that their plumbing and that their electrical are working. All those things are really, really important. Okay, so we got some stuff. Now, for those of you that are interested in investing in real estate, I put the Zoom at the bottom of the screen. Okay. If you're interested in investing in real estate and you want to actually see some inventory, because what we do is we're going to go over that inventory with you, whether it's single family, multifamily. Some of them are cash flowing already with tenants, which I highly recommend that you get some cash flowing properties that already got those tenants paying. I don't know if Trina's on here, but I'm excited for her. She bought a duplex. She inherited one tenant. Now she has the other unit rented, which is great. Yay, great job, Trina. And then now she's buying another single family in a really nice neighborhood that's already going to be cash flowing. She's coming into $1,300 a month, but her note is probably going to only be $900 a month. So that's a great way to cash flow the property. And so we're going to go over that inventory. Those of you that are interested, I want you to jump on that Zoom. It's at the bottom of the screen, sevenfigureinvestor.com. Also, if you're ready to get coaching and you're like, hey, you know what? I'm ready to start investing in real estate. I want my hand held. Get on. You can jump on acetifiednow.com. Also, I want you to put down January the 24th. January the 24th, I'm going to be doing a meeting in Detroit from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. January 24th. So make sure you put that date down. And if you're a part of the community, you're going to get that text blast so you can see that. So let's talk about some opportunities. We're finishing up the end of the year right now, leaving 2025 with some stuff. It looks like you got a lot of right now. I think you got more cash flowing properties or buy and hold opportunities more than buying and
Yes.
flip.
Yep. So I want to just integrate something as well. When we talk about buying whole, we almost forget another strategy that I really want to dive into, which is called the burst strategy. So, yes, you can cash flow a couple of dollars, but what we really want to do is we really want to start the empire. So, the beautiful thing about the buy and holds, where you won't make as much cash up front as you would with a flip, what that is buy, you can either rehab or already have it rented, revitalize, rent, and repair. I mean, not repair, but refinance. So with that strategy, you can cash flow a couple of dollars while you take a chunk of the money and you go buy something else, or you get into another endeavor. But we're going to talk about more of that on the Zoom. But Jewel, yes, we got a lot of buy and holds, but I have been coming across a lot of flips as well. So we can definitely go over those.
That's awesome. So this is why I want you to think buy and hold, and why I think it's so important to build a portfolio doing both. And I can tell you what I'm telling you guys is what I do, right? I don't ever believe in teaching something that I don't really do. So I do buy and flips. I actually bought my last buy and flip from Felton. It was a great, great, great deal on the west side of Detroit. And then I've also bought a multi-unit from him. So that was cash flowing with 2 tenants, right? It was a 4-unit, 2 tenants
Yep.
were already paying rent. And then 2, we have to put in our own tenants there. But what am I saying is that you want to set yourself up so that you have monthly income coming in every single month. And then to
Mhm.
his point, you want to be able to pull the cash out.
Yep.
Pull the cash out, and then take that money and pay yourself back, or go ahead and get another property. And that's the beautiful thing about having holds, is that it's like, look at it like cash. Like every property, you could be making somebody's annual salary. So
Yep.
if you say, I want 3 properties the first quarter of the year, you can look at each of those properties, hold, not flip. Okay. I'm gonna hold each of these properties, and each property is gonna pay you probably anywhere between $20,000 and $60,000 per property in your cash out refi. That's huge. That's the play on real estate. That's how you start building a really great portfolio, is by using the equity. Okay, that's how you do that thing. So I want to make sure you guys are in position and start 2026 out the right way. Don't just keep spending money on cars, and I love a good car, but I buy pre-owned cars. Okay, I just sold a G-Wagon that I had debt-free for years. I sold it was 2014. Nobody would have really knew. So now when I get ready to get my next G-Wagon, it's going to be a 2019, right? 6 years old, pre-owned. So we got to be really smart about our money. This is not the time to be going out and just jacking money off, going on cruises. And I'm not against none of that stuff. I love all of it. But you got to set yourself up as an investor so that you put yourself in a position to have cash flow coming in. Because one thing about rent is it's going to go up every year. Felton, talk about that a little bit. Rent and some of the investors that, now you have investors you work with that are very active, and you have some that are very
Mhm.
passive. Which ones do you recommend that people become?
Here's the thing. If you have a good PM company, it kind of gives you that release of, getting stuff done and handle it. But I can say the active investors, I like working with them. Sometimes they kind of a headache, but I get it, right? It's their property. They need to know what's going on. And then I have seen lackadaisical investors to the point of neglect, and they are very hard to deal with because you can't get in contact with them. It's stuff going on. Like, hey, we need you. We need you for this, and it's hard to get stuff. So the active investor wins. Or just be an investor that, if you're going with PM, just pick up the phone. If a place needs a repair, don't fight it too hard. Even though you can't see it, nobody's gonna make up a repair. Little stuff like that. But I like active investors to an extent, because sometimes it's like, okay, let me do my job. But I respect them because they take, bringing back the community very serious. Not only for the profit of them, but they, as a tenant, I got some investors, they send tenants Christmas cards.
Yeah.
They need anything when they give them move-in packages when they, move in. So I really appreciate and respect them. But you don't want to be, inactive investor because you're losing money unless you. I mean, to be honest, I think some of these guys literally they just want the tax write off for depreciation, but that's speculation. So always 100% be an active investor. And yeah, it's you got to take, like you said, take it serious because it's hard to obtain, but maintaining is really the job. Maintaining is the real job. That's the real part of investing. Some people, they strive so hard to get the good credit, to get the money, to make the purchases, to do the rehab, make the fixes. But that's the initial part. The wealth building part is the daily maintenance, the monthly maintenance, and things, so forth and so on.
And stand on top of your repairs.
Yeah.
Stand on top of that when things because if you're buying it, because once the property has been rehabbed, I will say as an investor, my repairs have been very minimal once everything's stabilized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that part is good, but it's just about getting it stabilized. And then once it's stabilized, it's going to start to, cash flow like it's supposed to. The city of Detroit, I mean, there's tons of the revitalization that's happening there. You're born and raised in Detroit. I'm born and raised in Detroit. And it just blows my mind. We have one of the top cities in the entire world to invest in because the entry is so low versus what the value of the property is getting ready to be because of all the revitalization that's happening throughout the city, which is just so huge. It's so huge. Will you kind of talk about how you've seen Detroit just kind of evolve and why people should take a look at it?
I get mad when I think about it, but I'm a little on the younger side. So, born and raised in Southwest Detroit. I have my dad's side is from the East Side, Gratiot and Van Dyke area. And I mean, just watching it, like Detroit in the 90s, I can say was pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? Houses, there were vacants, but there weren't as many as, it was in the past couple of years. But like from actually being a part of the growth, like is mind-blowing how fast it happens. And I talked to my friends from, I got friends from Brooklyn, I have friends from DC, I have friends from LA, and when we have those conversations about gentrification, nobody talks about how fast 10 years is. People be like, 10 years is, it's a long time. It's not a long time. 10 years is a blink of an eye. And what I've seen, I got in real estate about 2018, and just a little background. The first house I ever sold was on Haverhill in Morningside. Got it for 17, sold it for 24. But the ARV in the neighborhood, now this is 2018, the ARV was 60,000. The ARV in Morningside right now, 8 years later, going on 9, it is 220,000. And that was just, what does the next 8 years look like? And people always say, "Oh no, I'm waiting for a crash. I'm waiting for a crash." Don't wait for a crash. I don't think what happened in 2008 was a historical thing. It'll never happen again. So you got to look at it from the point of appreciation. Like, hey, if I get it at this certain price point, 50, 60, 70,000, I know for sure it's going to be a driving vehicle for wealth. It has no choice but to go up. Somebody told me a long time ago, the earth is not getting bigger. Population is growing. The space of the earth is not getting bigger. So you need to buy some real estate.
Yep. Nah, for real. I mean, just because I started in 2017, but really started picking up multifamilies in 2022. And just in these 3 years, I'm like, whoo.
3 years. And the city, go back to what you were saying, because I know, Asia Denson, she used to work for the city, like on the roads and construction and stuff. And she told me the city had plans back in 2010 for 2030. So
Mm.
this is already mapped out. And, you know, with the Midwest being one of the most affordable places to live, you know, it's going to be different. It's going to be different in the next 5 years. Detroit will be an it city again.
Oh no, it's definitely there. I mean, we're
Yeah.
definitely gonna be hanging with Chicago, New
Mhm.
York, Atlanta,
Mhm.
like
Yep.
seriously. And so now's the time to get it. And then we just got, elected a powerful Black female as mayor. Detroit is definitely a Black Wall Street. I just tell people, like, right now, make no mistakes about it. If you ever thought about investing, now is the time. Don't sit there and wait, because I promise you, next year this time, prices are going to have gone up significantly, because I'm looking at
Mhm.
my multifamilies just in 3 years what it's done. You know what I'm saying? So now is definitely the time to do it. So listen, guys, if you want to say, you know what, I'm ready to get some coaching, I need your mentorship, I need the community, I need access to the Feltons of the world. And we have so many amazing relationships that I'm so grateful to God for, that I promise you are going to be huge benefits to you. Get on acetifiednow.com to register. You'll see some different options. And then we can also have a one-on-one consult about where you are and where you want to be. Don't worry about if your credit is not good. We got a credit specialist that's off the chain, and she will get you all the way together, even with bankruptcies and IRS lien. She is really, really good. If you want to get and see some inventory that we have available right now for you, that you say, you know what, I want to come to the community, I want to look at this inventory. We're going to go over the numbers, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm not just looking at the house or the multifamily or the duplex. We're looking at the neighborhood, and we're sure enough looking at the math. We want to make sure that the math. So you can jump on Zoom right now, sevenfigureinvestor.com, and we'll be on there right at 11:45 Central, 12:45 Eastern. So in 6 minutes, join us on that Zoom if you want to see some more inventory or definitely interested in being mentored. Felton, thanks so much for jumping on here, brother. I really
No
do
problem.
appreciate it. Tell me really quickly, just, I guess, just from your standpoint, somebody starts investing in real estate, they're going to have an opportunity to really build a nice, like you said, it is one of the best assets to really grow wealth.
Yes.
Period.
Repeat the question. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
I agree.
I thought I heard
Um,
something. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just saying how real estate is just one of the best assets to
Yeah.
grow wealth.
I mean, where else can you get 10% like in the year? The stock market isn't even doing that. And then not only that, I don't know if you guys followed on the news, Detroit appreciated like 14% from last year, which we're like, I'm trying to think, the only other market that appreciated that high was Miami.
Wow.
So here's the thing, like I said, about gentrification and everything like that. This is not something that happens every day. This is a reason why Detroit is revitalizing and building. This people from around the world. I mean, even some of our clients, they don't live in America, and they know about Detroit. They got people in France and Argentina and China coming to Detroit.
Huh?
That says something.
Bruh.
Yeah.
How many international investors we have is mind-blowing.
Yeah. They know something. They know something. So look, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, we got to move. We got to move now. So listen, we'll see you on that Zoom, sevenfigureinvestor.com. Felton, thanks so much for jumping on here today. Thank you all for jumping on. Don't forget, put January 24th down, Detroit, Michigan, 10 a.m. to 1. I'll be sending that information out for our real estate meeting. Make sure you plan on being there. It's going to be powerful, and we'll see you guys in 5 minutes. Bye-bye.
Right.